What's good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. So the Browns are somewhat back in Berea. This is the start of the offseason programming. New head coaches per CBA gets earlier head start to the offseason programming. Because of continuity issues and all that good stuff. Want to get be able to balance out teams that have continuity that has the same head coach for the long time and all that good stuff. So the Browns are back in the building. The players, some players are there, and we're gonna get to the whole Miles Garrett situation or whatever. But the from all reports, all of the quarterbacks are there. But I do find it a little ironic that the Browns only posted one quarterback showing up. Maybe it's just me, but I try not to think into stuff like that, but I keep it, in the back of my mind, keep a little note in the back of my mind or stuff like that. But, I just found it a little like, that's weird, but maybe they don't want the hate comments that they know they're going to get from both of the quarterbacks. So that could be a reason too. They posted only him because he's gonna get the love he should do, and he's highly loved, and I can understand why they don't post Dylan and Deshaun being walking in and all that good stuff because PR. So that's good PR, I guess. Now that I think about it, actually, it's good PR by the Browns. Not only showing Shador, but it did have me when I first thought about it until now. Like, okay, that's weird. But now that I think about it, and then I say it, and it's like, okay, good PR. That's good PR because the other two is going to get like super hateful comments. Like it probably not going to be any good comments. Everything is going to be flooded with negativity or just full hatred. I don't think they want to do the new regime like that. So that's some good PR. But the Browns full team, not full team, but the people who did show up, was able to do a standard workout, shit that they probably doing themselves. But you want to the guys who want to build the camaraderie and all that good stuff. Those guys are there. I don't know if they're allowed to do the install of like this is the playbook or anything like that, or if they're getting their playbook today, not today, but when they were in the building. I don't know if they're getting their playbooks or anything like that, but it is like you know getting to know the new coaches and the new coaches getting to know the players and you know this is what we expect the team to be like. This is the style we expect the team to be. This is the style I expect from the offense. This is what I expect from the defense. This is how I Todd probably wants you to act on and off the field. The standard good stuff and the standard workouts. Now, with that is the whole yearly for the last, and it's been the same shit for the last 5 years. The yearly Miles Garrett didn't show up to voluntary OTAs. At this point, why do we care? Why do one single fan care? Not all Browns fans are. I know this not like a sentiment that is you know from all Browns fans, but a good majority of the fans. There's a good chunk of the fans who's I don't know if they're in their feels about it because of the contract and the whole trade scenario that's been going around about Miles or anything like that. I don't know if it's because they want him gone, but every year it's the same annoying shit about Miles Garrett not showing up to voluntary OTAs. Who gives a fuck? It's Miles Garrett. He's the best edge rusher in the league. He's the best defensive player in the league. He's the best non-quarterback in the league. And for the last few years, he's I mean, personally, ever since y'all started complaining about it, he's been that. In my opinion, it, is I don't understand the complaining about it. Maybe y'all just want something to complain about. I mean, this is like the most super boring time of the year. The draft isn't here. Usually, like for the last 6 years, we didn't, have nothing to talk about right now because we had Kevin and we wasn't able to go in this early because he was here for so many years. So, but even when it was time for the voluntary portions, fans would still get, not all, again, my partials by saying not all. Some fans will still get in their tits about and getting the uproar about Myles Garrett not being there. But yet Myles Garrett is the only truly highly productive guy on the team. Can't name nobody who's more productive on the team than him in the last 5 years that we've been bitching and complaining about Myles Garrett not showing to voluntary portions of OTAs. Have you ever heard of him showing up, let's say, 50 pounds overweight? Has it affected his play in the season? So what are we still complaining about? I don't understand the constant bitching and complaining about it. It seems like most of the media has just really gotten over it. They just report on it because fans sit here and complain about it, but uh, the media hasn't really been saying much about it. So, but fans are still in the uproar about it, and I get it. Probably got some fans tense because of the whole contract restruct, whatever the fuck that situation was, the whole contract reworking and a potential, trade of Miles or whatever that case is. But this was still an ongoing complaint even before he ever requested a trade. So I just I find it a careless point, honestly, because Myles Garrett is still gonna get shit done. Myles Garrett is still going to be the best edge rusher in the league. He's still going to be the best defensive player of the league, and he's still going to be the best non-quarterback in the league. So this is really a non-thing to me, but it seems like it's a trending topic. It's not super hot as it was, maybe because some fans are really caring less and less about it. But there are still good chunk of fans who still care, and I really wish y'all would let that go. It's voluntary. He's not a quarterback. Quarterbacks and other positional players like wide receivers or super heavy dependent not quarterback, super heavy dependent positions, and positions who obviously really do need to be there. DBs, maybe the safeties, wide receivers, obviously again the quarterbacks, the linemen, all that good stuff. But like an edge, I don't really think there's much Miles can really learn. It's not probably, if I'm mistaken, I don't think it's like a playbook install. It's just getting to know you. Here's my expectations of the team, and here's my expectation of you, getting to know your coaches, getting to know your positional coaches, you know, and their expectations of you, and what they expect of you and all that good stuff. But you know people are still freaking out, and it is what it is. So not much, super much to learn. It wasn't anything like that. It was just a superficial workout, and it's just hey, this is the expectations I have of the team, and this is the expectations I have of the coaching staff. They're really getting to know you day one of school. It's like back at day one of school. You really don't do too much work. Getting to know you stage, getting to know your teacher, getting to know your new friends, and all that good stuff. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Really would appreciate it if you hit that like, share, and smash that subscribe button. And until next time, peace.